Welcome to The World According to Bo. Let's talk a little bit about some folks who are trying to ban the classics. I feel like we're becoming Germany during World War II, banning books because they don't meet your propaganda. This is America where we have freedoms. Those freedoms include books and reading what we want to. Let's look at some of the classics as being bad, and I'll give a little bit of commentary about my opinion about this. The first one is The Great Gatsby. Believe it or not, this is one of the most banned books of all times because of language and sexual references in the books. I got news for you. Your kids already know what's going on by the time they're old enough to read this. The second book, The Catcher in the Rye, is also banned for language and sexual content. Again, by the time your kids are old enough to read this, they know what's going on. This one really bothers me. The Grapes of Wrath. Really? Why are you going to ban The Grapes of Wrath? Yeah, this book has some obscene and defamatory issues in it, but it talks about a family leaving the Midwest during the Depression and how they survived and what they had to do to survive. Even the county that Jodes ended up in Kern County, was trying to ban it. The next one I really don't get either. To Kill a Mockingbird. It's been banned mainly for its use of language and the use of the N-word. Well, you know what? I guarantee you your kids have understood what the N-word was. They've heard it before, and maybe even you've used it yourself. Just pointing that out. The next one, The Color Purple. They want it banned because the novel's graphic portrayals of rape, racism, violence against women, and sex. Newsflash. They see it every day on TV. They see it in the news. They hear about it. They hear about it on the internet. Ulysses is another one that was initially banned for what critics view as pornographic nature. Seriously? Turn on the TV now and you'll see more pornographic nature stuff than you've ever thought of seeing. Just on regular TV. You don't even have to have cable to see stuff in pornographic nature. Beloved is another book. Tells the story of a formerly enslaved woman. It's been challenged for its scenes of violence and sexual material. You really worried about violence? Seriously? And sexual stuff, again, is on TV every night. Just turn on the TV. The Lord of the Flies is often banned for its vulgar language and violence by its characters and implies that man is little more than an animal. Newsflash here, humans are animals? I just got one comment. It's science. Is that why you don't want it banned? Because you don't want people to think that we're animals? Newsflash, science has proven that we are. The next one is one of the such classics, and everybody talks about it, is 1984. They want it banned because it's pro-communist, and it has explicit sexual matter in it. Well, you know what? You listened to a bunch of communist stuff back when you were younger. Don't you want your kids to be worldly enough to know communism when they see it? You know, don't you want your kids to go, wow, that's messed up, and equate that to communism? So why are you trying to ban 1984? The next one I'd like to talk about is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. It's been banned for language, treatment of African Americans, and inappropriate for study and reading in school libraries. Really? Seriously? This is such a... I don't even understand how people have a problem with this. You know what? History. Unfortunately, African Americans were treated that way in the time this book was written. Get real. The Diary of Anne Frank. This was considered sexually offensive, as well as being tragic. Well, I got news for you. The world is tragic. If you don't want your kids subjected to tragedy, turn off the news. Another one that I'm struggling with is Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. It's been banned on sexual grounds. It mentions her rape when she was a young girl. Wouldn't you like to know if your daughter has been treated that way when she was a young girl? Maybe something has happened to her, and this may offer her the option to bring it up to you so you can help her get the help she needs for it happening. Another one that I'm struggling with is James and the Giant Peach. Banned for its contents, including abuses that James experiences. I'm sorry, but kids are open to experiences and molested at higher rates than you ever want to think about. Wouldn't you want your kid to read this and go, hey, that happened to me? It also promotes drug and alcohol use, they say, and has inappropriate language, and it encourages disobedience to parents. Well, you know what? I got news for you. Most of the kids I've seen who have experienced negative stuff as a child, they turn to alcohol and drug use, and they're usually disobedient to parents. I don't think this is going to promote something that they may have already happened to them. The light in the attic has also been banned because of suggestive illustrations. Shel Silverstein, really? Suggestive illustration? What the hell does that even mean? The next one is Uncle Tom's Cabin. Uncle Tom's Cabin has been banned for language concerns as well as social grounds. The book has been controversial for its portrayal of African Americans. Again, slavery happened. Slavery is real. Don't you think it's important that your kids understand that this actually happened and that we're working on getting past that? We've still got a lot of work to do as far as the way black folks are treated, but the reality is we've come a long ways, and don't you think your kids need to understand why black folks are struggling with the way they're being treated? Here's my suggestion. If you really want to shelter your kids, try turning off their social media. Take them off TikTok or stop them from watching TV. TV is worse than any of these books ever thought of being. Don't be scared to talk to your children about topics that you do not agree with, unless you can't explain why you're against it because you're a homophobic, sexist, racist, or just out of touch with the realities of the world. Some say that these topics are not age appropriate. What I will say is by the time your kids are old enough to read the classics, they're old enough to understand the topics. They've seen racism. They've heard you and your spouse having sex or even walked in on you. They understand being molested and raped. It's on the TV and internet. Please don't place your kids at a disadvantage by not explaining to them how to be an adult and understanding sex, rape, and incest is a part of life. Maybe not their life, but others' lives, and that they should be accepting of those who have had those struggles and be a little empathetic. Kids will read things because you told them not to. So by telling them not to read it, you're actually encouraging them to read it because they're going to do what they want to do. If you do not teach them, they will learn from friends or the hard way, having it happen to them because they were not taught by their parents what to look for and what to be worried about. So that's the world according to Bo. Thank you. Disclaimer. I'm a licensed mental health therapist in California. If you're searching for mental health help, please reach out to someone in your state. If you are within California, you can reach me at the email below. And if you're interested in coaching anywhere in the United States, you can reach out below also. These videos are for educational purposes only, and if you're thinking about suicide, please reach out and call 911.